Friday, the 12th of September, 2025. 21 Pilots released their 8th studio album, Breach. For most clickies, such a day was first spent watching the City Walls premiere at 5 AM because the pilots thought the best way to end the law was to bombard us emotionally while sleep deprived. How kind. After that, it was business as usual. People gushing about the album, ranking their favourite songs, and freaking out over the pilot's freeing drag path from her jail. But I, dear avid viewer, was celebrating my mother's birthday that day, so I couldn't listen to Breach or watch City Walls at all. And when I finally found free time, I was then locked in my car for 3 hours after it broke down. Like, you literally cannot make this up. I thought the channel name was Dema, not Clancy. What the f- That marked the beginning of my Breach experience. So I ordered one of the 3 official box sets from the Pilot's web store. Some of you may remember I was torn between Dark Clancy and Nova Bishop. I wasn't gonna buy the Torchbearer one because I don't fucking like him. For law and legal reasons, that was a joke. We live in a democracy, so I decided to put it to a vote. The winner by a landslide was Dark Clancy. So I bought Nova Bishop. As if me being busy on the day of release and then me somehow cosplaying Clancy wasn't enough, I also had issues with the box set itself. Firstly, the initial batch in the UK store sold out really quickly, before I could even put funds into my bank account, so you can imagine how hard I was breaking down over not securing a Law box set, especially after also not buying the FPE CD because the pilots didn't actually explain what it contained, so I thought it was nothing special. And then, like the light at the end of a dark tunnel, the Canadians came to my rescue. I said it on the community page, but I'm going to say it here again. Thank you, Canadians. I love you. I would give my life for you. Just say the word. I will do it. I will do it right now. I was essentially able to hold onto that Nova Bishop box set until the pilots generously decided to do another EU restock. Because whilst I do love you, Canada, I cannot pay £30 for just shipping alone and bring the product to a total of 60 quid. Also, shout out to 21 Pilots merch alerts on Twitter. I genuinely would not have gotten the box set at all without their merch alerts telling us which store still had them in stock and the likelihood of restocks. You would think that after everything, getting the box sets would pretty much be smooth sailing now, right? Wrong. The pilots personally like spiting me, okay? I can't prove it to you. My sources trust me, bro. You're just gonna have to trust me on this one. I'm gonna grab my headphones to listen to the voice notes, but in the meantime, have you received anything regarding the box sets? Nope, my box sets are still just in the ordered status. Going to crash out if I do not get an email soon. Bro, where is my fucking box set order? What have they done to my Nova Bishop? Okay, logically, looking at when Clancy shipped, we should get an email by 11 AM latest regarding shipping. Let's go! Bro, where the fuck is my Nova Bishop? What? Do I put it in Royal Mail to track? I think you can. Why won't they tell me? Tomorrow! Freaking out. I am going to kill WMG. They don't recognize the tracking number, bro. No, Dema, where the fuck is my bishop? They don't want you getting it every goddamn time, every goddamn album release. This is how they defeat Dema, by pissing her off so much that she explodes. Maybe refresh the website, might do. If I get it on Saturday instead, WMG and me are gonna have a problem. The day before the album was set to come out, I heard literally nothing about my order. I had no confirmation email that it was being sent out for shipping, even despite seeing other people on social media already getting that. I didn't get an email confirmation until closer to the evening, and even then, it still wasn't a relief. But despite all that struggle, Breach was finally acquired. So this is the Nova Bishop box set, meaning it's made with different materials as opposed to the other two, and in all honesty, I am really impressed. Like, this box set went above my expectations. There are so many details on this thing. For example, as you're seeing here, this is a picture of the boys on the front of the Breach album cover. We've also got that symbol again right underneath the 21 Pilots symbol at the very bottom, and on the back we also have, again, 21 Pilots. And the details don't stop there. Even if you look at the front cover of the box set, there's just so much stuff on it. Also, I really like the material. I recommend pausing if you want to read the full character card. I'm only going to read the important bits of information, but essentially it states that the dossier type is the Ascension dossier of the new bishop. His name is redacted, and the system response is optimistic/divided. Rise of subject follows expiration of prior command. Instated by internal selection despite background conflicts and sealed juvenile record. Elevated by the people as a symbol of rebirth, though preliminary analysis confirms unstable duality. Anyway, here is the back. It also has a snapshot of Dema, which is pretty cool. Here's the CD. I really like the colours for this one. I like how clean it looks. And opening up the box set on the inside, we finally get the rest of the goodies, such as stickers. We also have a red and white bandana. This is a poster, but you can see me fumble with it at the time thinking it's a booklet. And this is the actual booklet for the box set. So here are the stickers that came with my box set. I know they're unique to each box set. I think I saw some people trying to trade them on eBay. A little bit sad we didn't get more black and red ones in this box, because in all honesty, that's sort of my favorite color scheme. But either way, I finally have 21 Pilot stickers now. Now here is the bandana, and oh my god, I absolutely love the design on this. So this is the faded side. And on the back you can again see the Breach album cover image in the circle, and then switching it round to the front where you can see the color is more vibrant, you can actually see the names of all of the 9 bishops in the lore around the circle, as well as with the Clancy stole in the background, which feels a little bit symbolic. What I also find interesting is there's a Psy on Vaitamo and Listo, which is quite cool. Anyway, so moving on to the booklet. I thought this was going to be a lyric booklet. It turns out it's not. I don't know if this is intentional, because I'm seeing people with this same booklet that have lyrics in, but I don't know. Either way, we got a cool picture of Dema and a cool picture of Tyler just aura farming, I guess. The red decals inside the book are holographic, if that's the word for it. They're shiny. That's all I gotta say, which is pretty cool. We have a picture here of Tyler and Josh, and of Tyler again aura farming. Someone tell this guy to stop. We have an image still from the contract, as well as an image still you might recognize from the picture discs on the vinyls. There's a lot of snapshots from the contract, and as you can see, there's the contract lyrics here as well throughout the book. I think there's like a good few pages of just the contract associated imagery. See, look here again, there's more contract related imagery. Those are the silhouettes with the red eyes that we see in the contract music video. Now there's the image from the tours they did during the Clancy era, and we also have another image from the picture discs, from the Exalt vinyl disc. More decals, which by the way just feel like really nice to like when you rub your thumb against them. And finally, on the last page, we have Tyler and Josh, and the both of them standing back to back like in the Departure vinyl disc. So here is the poster. Now, as you can pretty much pinpoint the exact moment I thought this was a booklet and realized it was this poster. So this is one side. And then we also have Dema burning in the background, which I am still surprised did not happen. And here is the full box set with everything out of it. Honestly, yeah, worth the almost 50 quid for this and the insurmountable amount of stress. Now that's out of the way, let's move on to what most of you are probably interested in. My review on the songs of Breach. As a quick heads up, I'm rating these based purely on sounds and vibe, not lyrics. I'm also ranking City Walls last because I listened to it last, as well as Drag Path. This is arguably an example of the Pilots at their best sound-wise. It has a mixture of the type of sound you see in their past albums and a genre that is really hard to identify upon first listen. You know, the usual calling card of 21 Pilots. The experimentation with pacing in an obvious way makes this song feel like a roller coaster. This analogy extends even further when considering the energy this song has. As soon as you hit the chorus, with all the little details and ornamentation in the instrumentals, the song suddenly becomes far more alive. It's moments like this in 21 Pilots songs where the energy of it makes you want to dance and the instrumentals become a rich world of their own that you can become lost in, where it is clearly exemplified that this is the band at their best. Hands down, one of my favorite songs on the record, and it was an insane way to basically start off my listen. I was quite literally gobsmacked with tears of joy. So for that, RAWFEAR is getting a 10 out of 10. Drum Show is now an 8.5 out of 10. You may remember Drum Show was rated a 9.5 out of 10 during my analysis when the single dropped. So, what happened? Some may call it recency bias, but other songs on the album just feel so much stronger to me. I still really like Drum Show, don't get me wrong, but in comparison to other tracks on the album, this one just falls a little bit to the wayside. Not only that, but as noted by many other people, it has a very similar sound to Navigating and Next Semester, which does make it lose its novelty very, very quickly. It's still a banger though. Garbage is a 9 out of 10. I burst out laughing when that first lyric was sang. I should have expected that to sort of be the route they took in hindsight. But I don't know, I was expecting something a little less blunt than I feel like garbage. Regardless, it's another fantastic song. The 9 out of 10 is more of a signifier of how much I like it in comparison to other songs on the album at this point. It has a Mulberry Street sort of twang to it with the piano and the structure, but I feel like it executes this far better than what Mulberry Street did. Moreover, whilst I don't really bring lyrics into ratings because I don't like a song just for its lyrics, if I don't like the sound, I'm not gonna like the song. Sorry to all the 5 Addict with a Pen and Formidable fans out there, but the lyrics do very much carry this song. Contract has been promoted to a 10 out of 10. It has gone up in my ratings unlike Drum Show. Now that I'm used to the vocal effects, the energy and the screaming in this song just goes so hard. Heavy Linkin Park vibes with this one. This is another favourite of mine from the album, hence why I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Korea is one of my favourite demos by the Pilots, alongside the untitled demo from 2011 and I Need Something, and I am so glad it was held onto to be repurposed for Downstairs. The song brings a very much needed self-titled / vessel sort of flair to the record that I really didn't know I was missing. Especially with the piano in the chorus that sounds like it was ripped straight from Fall Away. Again, I'm going to be talking a lot about energy in this record because I've come to the conclusion that energy and atmosphere are what I like most about songs, but the energy in the chorus is perfect. It's another song that makes me want to dance along with the music. Robot Voices is an 8 out of 10 for me. I don't have much to say about it. It's a decent song and I really love the second part of the chorus as well as the spoken segments intertwined with Tyler singing, but that's literally all I got on this one. On first listen, I didn't like Centermass. When I was thinking of ratings initially, this one was going to be a solid 6 out of 10 in all honesty. And to all the 5 Centermass fans out there, don't worry. It has grown on me. Quite a lot, in fact. So much so that I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. It's incredibly reminiscent to Lavish, with the cool, collected swagger presented in the verses with an almost jazzy tune alongside it. This makes the tonal shift to something more grunge and Linkin Park-esque in the chorus all the more shocking, yet all the more appealing. There is something deliciously tasty in that transition of sound and style. And then we have to consider how the tone shifts again with the bridge and the accompanying instrumental, how it just builds up and goes haywire. It's a fantastic song that seamlessly blends all of these different tones and styles together. I have a quick question to ask fans of Cottonwood. Do you know why you like this song? Were you, perchance, a fan of the Pilot's older work, maybe? Maybe specifically a certain song from No Fun Intended? Go with me here. Is that song maybe Save? Yes, the first thing my chronically Pilot's pilled brain thought about when hearing Cottonwood was that this song's chords sounded exactly like the ones from Save. The chorus basically solidifies it as well with that grungy sort of bass. That one is exclusively also seen in Save. Listen to those two songs side by side, they sound incredibly similar. Hell, even the percussion sounds similar. So, died in 2008, born in 2025, welcome back Save. What could I say more about Cottonwood? The song is really good. I think, looking at my notes, I've rated it a 9 out of 10.
Hang up. Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture.
Am I dreaming? If it's so, can I take back who I was before? If it's no.
Intel has told us there are at least 7.
Okay, I already see one. Give me. Okay.
They're the same picture.
Please understand. I mean that joke endearingly. I love One Way. It's a 10 out of 10 for me and reminds me of some of the earlier Gorillaz content, but I can't help but laugh every time the verses kick in. And to be fair, the way Tyler sings those verses definitely scratches an itch in my brain. Also, One Way technically being the first ever Pilot song to have its main extended metaphor being about being a pilot or flying an aeroplane is just peak. Genius. Pure cinema. Of course, there has to be at least one song on every Pilot's album that I do not like, and it just so happens to be Days Lie Dormant. This is a 5 out of 10 for me. I knew it in my bones when I first heard the snippet and saw the song name that this would be my least favorite from the album. Can't really pinpoint why, the sound is just not my vibe. Banger! 10 out of 10! Masterpiece! What more is there to say about Tally? The one thing I can say about this album is Tyler's rap verses itch my brain so much. One thing I can't get over though is the fact that the instrumental after the chorus sounds so much like a Splatoon song. Like, I'm so sorry. I still love you though, Tally. Some of you may recall in Stolen Potential's pre-release Breach live stream, I said Intentions was the song I was most apprehensive for, and this is because in my eyes Paladin Street was the perfect closer, both lyrics and sound-wise. Well, I'm happy to report there was no reason for me to be worried. I apologize, Intentions, I was not aware of your game. It's a beautiful closer to the album and to the story, and it's incredibly symbolic, as well as with the feature of Truce being in reverse. It's as if we're going back to the beginning of the night where the struggles first begin, whilst Truce's lyrics situate it towards being more near the sunrise after you've endured your struggles during the night. So yeah, Intentions is a 10 out of 10 for me. What a surprise. But yeah, this being the outro credits, they didn't have to come for my emotions like that. I was ugly sobbing at 11:30 p.m. Drug Path, whilst not officially on this album, I'm still counting because Breach Digital remains. It's still Breach, who cares? But I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 as well. I have to say, massive shout out to Crunchlaw, you know, the commenter who says they don't believe Paladin Straight was the end on literally every video I produce, because, oh my god, you were so right. Drag Path is another incredibly beautiful song, and finally includes some of the more atmospheric music I adore that was pretty much exclusively seen on Self-Titled and maybe like one or two of their other songs across the years. Not only that, but as Crunchlaw said, this would be perfect for walking around in Death Stranding. I know! I keep talking about this game. It's my whole personality at the moment. Leave me alone. It has a very, very heavy low raw vibe that I just sort of adore, and a little bit of old Coldplay in there as well. City Walls. Let's ask the audience here. What rating do you think I gave this one, huh? If you said a 10 out of 10, you would probably be right. This is probably one of the best lore songs we've ever received. It finally, and I mean this, finally feels like a song about rebellion. About fighting with a group, whereas Nico and the Niners more kind of felt like an advertisement for the Banditos, and Overcompensate felt more like a lecture. Which, to be fair, fits what we kind of see in the music videos. The rap is filled with so much rebellious swagger, and the rhythm is incredibly addictive. Then, the chorus in itself is just fantastic. Especially with whatever that instrument is that they've added right after the chorus lyrics play. Like, what drugs did they put in this song? I really gotta ask. Also, really quickly, here is my rating. Yes, I finally managed to rank all of the songs on Breach. Here is my rating of all of the songs on Breach. Honestly, you've got to bear in mind that maybe aside from the last 3 or 4, most of these are kind of on the same level of being liked to me. So, to conclude my review on Breach, I rate the album a 10 out of 10. And I know a lot of you are going to say because you're biased, well, yeah. I'm a 21 Pilots fan. Anyway, I need to now go bury my head into analysing City Walls, so go stream Breach or something.